Today, we're getting a look at the devastation that happened last night.
Looked out back and our garage was basically gone, had fallen down on top of our car.
Tornadoes all over the Miami Valley destroyed people's homes and livelihoods.
When you look at those 40 families in those homes where they are not habitable at this point, that is losing.
And right now, we're still learning more about the fallout.
Stating damage left behind this afternoon after several tornadoes hit the Miami Valley.
And one person confirmed dead and more than 130 others are hurt. 3 EF tornadoes have been confirmed by the National Weather Service in 3 different counties and in the cities of Salina, Beaver Creek, and Trotwood.
Hello, I'm Cheryl McHenry.
And I'm James Brown. We have Team 7 weather coverage for you this afternoon. Our teams of reporters and meteorologists are in our community seeing the damage and its impact on our neighbors.
News Center 7's John Bedell is live in Salina this afternoon. John?
Cheryl and James, you know, I got to tell you, when it comes to the damage here in Salina that we've seen, I've been tossing around this comparison in my head all day, and I wasn't sure it really matched until we came to this neighborhood on Fairground Road, and just look at the devastation here. And the comparison is that, look, I've spent my entire life in Ohio. Born and raised in Northeast Ohio. I've hunkered down in Mom and Dad's basement as a kid as tornadoes passed over us. I've been doing this professionally for 9 years here at Channel 7, seeing all kinds of storm damage. I have never seen this kind of damage from a tornado, and the only thing I have this level of destruction to compare to is when we went to the Great Smoky Mountains and covered the wildfires in Gatlinburg in December of 2016. And I know that wildfires and tornadoes are 2 wildly different natural disasters, but in terms of the breadth and the scope of this destruction, James and Cheryl, I have nothing to compare it to other than what I witnessed in eastern Tennessee a little more than 2 years ago. There are homes on this block that have just been leveled. The one 2 houses down from us is completely off its foundation. It's just a pit in the middle of the property line now. Right here off to my right, this was a fence that was all the way around this property. It's gone. And the other thing, though, that I've witnessed between what we saw amid the Great Smoky Mountains and here in Salina is the resiliency of the people in those communities. We talked to a young woman in the neighborhood we joined you live from at 4 about her living across town and not having any damage to her home, but why she felt it important to come all the way across town. She lives on the lake in Grand Lakes and areas, came all the way across town to help her neighbors. She's got some friends in that neighborhood, other people she has never met before in her life. I asked her why, even though she was planning on going back to where she goes to college, Capital University in Columbus, she was planning on going back today, even though she's on summer break to work and to babysit. She said plans changed, and she stayed here in Salina to help clean up, and I asked her why that was important.
It's important because we've always been a community that is one to help out one another, and we always know that if this were to happen to us, we know that people like this would come and help out at our house. And we're just such a close and community, and everybody is always out there to help one another. And like I said, I have friends out here, and it broke my heart last night just seeing all of them having to go through this and losing their stuff, and it just made us want to help out.
Back here live on Fairground Road in Salina, as you see the incredible amount of damage here, I want to show you this house that we're right next to. Unfortunately, as we've been reporting on for most of the day, this storm has turned tragic because the one death that has been associated with this storm was 81-year-old Melvin Hanna. He was, again, 81. His friends knew him by his middle name, which is Dale. This is his house, was his home. He was killed in this home last night. I just talked to the couple. We're standing in their driveway right now, his next-door neighbors. These are the first people we found all day who really knew him well. So we just finished talking to this couple. So we're going to have a little bit of what they experienced last night and also how they're remembering Dale Hanna, because they said he was a great guy. He was a dear friend as a next-door neighbor for many years, and we'll hear part of our conversation with them when we join you live at 6 in a little less than an hour. For now, though, we're live in Salina tonight. I'm John Bedell, News Center 7.
All right, John, and News Center 7 first started warning you about the dangerous storms and tornadoes last night around 9 o'clock. Our team of meteorologists and reporters has been on the air for hours, bringing you nearly nonstop coverage.
And we now know an EF3 tornado hit Montgomery County, more specifically the Trotwood area, and an EF3 hit Beaver Creek there in Greene County. and the deadly tornado in Salina, as we've been talking about with John, also an EF3.
Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist McCall Vrydaghs led our coverage, staying on the air continuously to warn you about the dangerous storms that were coming through last night. And she joins us live now with the latest potential severe weather that you're tracking, McCall.
Yeah, we are going to be dealing with more severe weather as we head into the evening hours. But first, let's talk a little bit about what happened last night. Again, we were looking at 3 very significant potent storms that moved through the Miami Valley that resulted in 3 tornadoes that have been confirmed. As James just mentioned, one in the Beaver Creek area, one in Trotwood, and one in Salina, where we did just see John Bedell. But I wanted to go back and look at radar and really point out where these tracks were. Our first circulation was in southwestern Mercer County. At 9:57, I watched a circulation entering the county line, and it intensified as it crossed over Salina, and that's when we saw debris signatures, and it continued on before weakening on radar at around 10:15. These are estimated times of when they started and perhaps ended. National Weather Service will come up with their official report as we head into the next day or so. There was actually another circulation that does not have a confirmed tornado with it. This started at around 10:19 and continued until about a little after 11 p.m. out of southern Darke County into Miami County. This is up near Laura, where we did see a lot of damage that looks suspect to be potentially tornadic. We will see if the National Weather Service goes up and assesses that storm damage as well. At 10:33, this is when we saw our most intense circulation of the night coming out of northern Preble County into northern Montgomery County. At this point, the debris signature was very large as it was entering the Trotwood area. It would continue about 8 miles north of downtown, south of Riverside, and into Greene County, just north of Xenia. On the tail end of that, a second circulation formed, moving out of Darke County, and what happened? It wound up riding that same path as the first supercell tornado as it moved through northern Montgomery and into Greene County as well before I saw that circulation dissipating around 12:30 tomorrow, last night into early this morning. When we talk about how strong these tornadoes are and were, we have estimated them to be about an EF3. This is anywhere between 136-mile-an-hour winds up to 165. There is the possibility, based upon what the governor was saying, that in the Trotwood area that perhaps we could see that preliminary report of an EF3 being upgraded to perhaps an EF4 based on the damage that we're hearing. Again, we'll wait for the National Weather Service to give us that information as it comes in. Severe thunderstorm watch for the northern Miami Valley tonight. This is our looking ahead and what you need to pay attention to, especially if you're up in that Mercer County area and parts of Auglaize County. Thunderstorms now moving in. Severe thunderstorm warning with this cell moving closer to Mercer County with frequent cloud to ground lightning and the possibility of damaging winds and hail. I will be monitoring that threat as we head into the evening and have the latest in my full forecast in just about 10 minutes. For now, though, we're going to send it out to meteorologist Jesse Mag. He is in Harrison Township looking at the damage out there. Jesse?
Yeah, right now I'm on Riverside Drive, just to the south of Stroop Mill Road. Right now, the southbound lane is completely closed. All of these trees behind me that you can see over top of the road, that we're seeing this for about I would say a 50-meter stretch, so a long distance where all of these trees are moved over. My photog and I, we were running out of water. We drank so much water. It is incredibly hot and humid out there. We actually had some folks that literally just tossed us some water, so that was great because we're going through the water like crazy, and a lot of people are dealing with that. Not only the boil advisory that they're paying attention to, you have to get access to water, and honestly, it can be kind of tough. There's a few stations that are set up around here, so that's great. The community out here has been great. We've been offered water about 5 times. That's incredible. I want to show you some trees off into the distance, all of which really more or less just snapped in half like a toothpick, and that's an indication of a wind over about 95 miles per hour. That's where we're into the EF2 range, and everything around here in Harrison Township is really indicating that EF2 kind of range winds. I have seen some areas where the bark is starting to actually peel off of the tree. Once you see that bark peeling off, that's an indication you're getting into that EF3 range, and I have seen a few incidences where that has been the case. Several of the buildings sustaining significant damage here. We're on the ground view, but when we climbed up on top of a hill just a little bit ago, we could see the roof damage was substantial. Again, that's an indicator of EF2 damage. A few instances where shards of wood had actually pierced through the side of several buildings, and again, that is kind of leaning towards that EF2 range. But again, I've seen some areas where these trees were actually seeing that bark peeled off. And I did some research that's indicating that the winds are over 135 miles per hour. Several situations around this complex where we've had the brick that has actually kind of been just ripped off the side of it. Once we got deeper in, we were in here moments ago, but we were asked to leave. They did not want us in the complex, so we are on the outside in the public domain right now. But again, every time I see the northwest corner of one of these buildings, that is kind of where the heaviest damage is located. Shards of debris that have moved through. I picked up a piece that almost looked like a spear, and that was wedged into the side of this apartment complex building, and I've seen that all throughout it. You can see the traffic is continuing to flow. You might hear the chainsaws in the background as well. They are working very hard to get this debris in the southbound lane cleaned up, so traffic very congested. If you can stay out of the area, try to do so, but I understand you have to go get water, you have to get things for your family, you don't have power. It's extremely hot out here. We've been going through so much water, so do the best you can to not congest things. However, sometimes you have to go get water. We need more water after this. We're already starting to feel signs of that dehydration, so the community here in Harrison Township has been absolutely amazing. A bunch of worker bees trying to get everything cleaned up, and they're all thinking about each other. No one's being selfish. They're offering things. It's been great, and I've loved kind of the atmosphere out here, people being so kind and looking out for one another. That's been incredible to see. Again, in Harrison Township, I'm meteorologist Jesse Mag.
Well said, Jesse. The human spirit right now is phenomenal. Destruction here in Vandalia, and this is just some of what we found. News Center 7's Jenna Lawson joins us live in just minutes.
At a Trotwood landmark sustained serious damage when a tornado hit. We check in on the former Hera Arena this afternoon.
Next new Ellen, Godzilla's Thomas Middleditch, plus guest host Wanda Sykes.
Ellen isn't out here asking me all kind of personal questions. How are you? How you been?
Ellen, tomorrow at 4 on Channel 7.
Great American Sales Event is going on now at Interstate Ford, and it's one of our biggest sales of the year. Save thousands on America's favorite cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus get big dollars for your trade. It's all happening now at Interstate Ford, your local Ford authority.
Spring into savings at Subaru of Dayton. Spend less and visit us in person or shop online at SubaruofDayton.com. We've got acres of Subarus, all with zero down. Zero down, like the 2019 Subaru Impreza, or lease a 2019 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, plus zero down. Plus, every Subaru comes with Rev Rewards. Engine covered for life, no charge. Oil changes for a year, no charge. Zero down and drive today at Subaru of Dayton. We're anything but ordinary.
At Firehouse subs are hot, hearty, and extraordinary. Every sub helps provide life-saving equipment for first responders. Nice, Jaws of life, Lisa. So more people eating at Firehouse subs means more life-saving equipment donated to first responders. If you're gonna have a sub, have one that makes a difference. How's that taste, Jim?
Introducing new Firehouse Pairs. Pair your favorite small sub with a signature side.
Firehouse subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
Here's your Buick, sir.
Actually, that's my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. Get this low mileage lease on this 2019 Encore for around $199 per month. Plus, current eligible non-GM lessees get an additional $2,000 lease cash on most 2019 Encore models.
The Great American Sales Event is going on now at Interstate Ford. Save up to $14,000 on a brand new 2019 Ford F-150 or get 0% financing for 72 months with approved credit. It's all happening now at Interstate Ford, your local Ford authority.
I want you to check out this church steeple as we pan up a little bit. It is now just hanging there. News Center 7's Jenna Lawson found out there were people in this church when the storm hit, and she takes us to Vandalia where people are cleaning up.
This is actually somebody's backyard, but right now it looks more like a jungle. Those storms and tornadoes ravaged the Miami Valley last night, and Vandalia is no exception.
Most of the time we look at this happening someplace else to somebody else.
but today it happened to us.
Dewey Pope, like several others on Miller Lane, has no power and no gas right now. His brother stopped by to bring him a chainsaw to start what will no doubt be a long cleanup process. Thankfully, Dewey and his wife are okay, but the trees he planted himself 40 years ago, those are goners. But some of his neighbors weren't even that lucky. Just around the corner from Dewey on Benchwood Road, the devastation continues. There were about 30 people, kids and their families, inside New Life Worship Center when the storm tore through.
They said it was the loudest thing they'd ever heard, and they're just in there scared.
There was actually a woman in this car waiting to pick up her grandkid. She got out of it just in time. Everywhere you looked around the church's property, something had been ripped off or damaged, including the church's most prominent feature. Several city crews were on scene to turn off utilities to the building. Pastor Friend said they're looking at possibly having services at Vandalia Butler High School while all of this gets fixed.
We're kind of standing in line waiting for engineers to get back with us, insurance people to get back with us. It's a slow process. So.
And we are going to keep working to get you the latest information about all of the damage caused by this storm, as well as the people affected. You can always look for the most up-to-date information on air and on our WHIO News app. For now, reporting in Vandalia, Jenna Lawson, News Center 7.
Harrison Township is one of the hard-hit areas. That's where we find News Center 7's Monica Castro, who's been talking to people in the community about the destruction there. Monica?
Yeah, I'm on North Dixie Road, and up and down this road, there is just devastation everywhere. I mean, take a look at this. This is a utility pole over here just laying in the middle of the road. We also see some street lights also laying in the middle of the road. Over on this area, you see homes just leveled. Also, there's a number of businesses that are just heavily damaged. Obviously, a lot of people today cleaning up, but we've also noticed a lot of people trying to help each other out during this difficult time. We've seen people passing by and giving each other waters just to kind of help them as they're cleaning up all of this wreckage. But take a look at this. This is just, you know, I'm standing in the middle of a street. Usually this is a heavily traveled street. But today, I mean, you have poles lying there, you have debris just everywhere. It really is a mess over here on North Dixie Drive. For now, reporting live, Monica Castro, News Center 7.
And McCall is closely watching the weather again today. I know we've got some activity on the radar.
Yes, in the far northern part of our viewing area is going to get hit with the threat for more thunderstorms that potentially become severe. And the greatest concern this time around is damaging winds, very heavy rainfall, and possibly some hail. Tornado threat is on the lower end, but certainly not going to be ruled out at all for tonight. Live Doppler 7 radar, you can see the ongoing activity now starting to move into northwestern Mercer County. There is a flash flood warning for Adams County, and this system is slowly pushing south and east, so possibly the Miami Valley and the northern part of Mercer County may see a flash flood warning issued there as well, and that means water will rise quickly. You could get caught in some of that high water and flooding, especially if you're traveling in and around this area. And unfortunately, this is also the same area where that EF3 twister came through Mercer County and really created a lot of devastation. We do have John Bedell up in that area, and he's going to give us some live updates as this system moves on by. When we look at hail tracker, it looks as though the hail has diminished with that cell to the north and west. Still some hail with a storm system north of our viewing area, just an indication that these thunderstorms have the ability to produce that hail. There's a live look in Salina. Clouds are beginning to build. It is very warm. It is very muggy as well, so fuel is there to fire these storms. Plus a cold front is nudging in. That's enough of an initiation factor to allow those storms to really fire off. We're at 86 degrees in the city of Dayton, 84 in Greenville, 82 in Salina. Meteorologist Jesse Mann was talking about how stifling it is outside because when you factor in the humidity, it feels closer to 90 degrees in some spots. So if you are without power tonight, you certainly want to make sure that you have some way to stay cool because we're not going to get much relief through the overnight hours. Drink lots of fluids if you can. Live Doppler 7 radar off to the west. forecast, that line of thunderstorms stretch all the way through Indiana. This line will be slowly pushing to the east-southeast, bringing that threat for severe weather into our viewing area as we head into and through this evening. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. for areas north of I-70. That includes Mercer, Auglaize, Dark, Shelby, Miami, Logan, Champaign, and even parts of Randolph County as that line moves southward. Again, our main severe weather threats for tonight are going to be hail and damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and perhaps a brief isolated spin-up tornado. Here's Futurecast. I'll take you hour by hour into the next couple of hours. That line is slowly going to be pushing southward. By around 7:30, we're talking about Mercer County, Auglaize County, northern Shelby, and Logan County dealing with those thunderstorms rolling through. Still dealing with that threat, and a little bit further south through about 8:30. Then that severe thunderstorm watch expires and ingredients do subside for any potential for severe weather into the evening. Into the overnight hours, we'll see a few showers, perhaps a thunderstorm passing on by late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Meteorologist Kirstie Zancini will have the latest on any thunderstorms for early tomorrow morning's commute. Now, tomorrow afternoon, a return threat for severe weather back into the area, and that will include the entire Miami Valley, as we have a slight risk for a few more thunderstorms to become severe. And that is, again, throughout the entire Channel 7 viewing area. We're talking about a 2 out of 5 chance for a thunderstorm to get that intense. Futurecast tomorrow morning beginning at 10 a.m. You can see somewhat quiet. We have mostly cloudy skies. Thunderstorms may pass to the southeast before lunchtime. A little lull early afternoon, and then some showers and thunderstorms develop during the peak heat of the day. This is the greatest risk for those severe thunderstorms refiring off for Wednesday. Very isolated, somewhat like popcorn, where you get those thunderstorms that really blossom up. Flooding threat with any heavy downpour will be increasing throughout the entire day. Conditions will quiet down as we head into Wednesday night, and then perhaps a few more thunderstorms returning again on Thursday. So we are not out of the woods. As we say, more thunderstorms will increase that threat for flooding and possibly some stronger wind gusts as well. 75 degrees with an isolated storm chance Friday. Most of us should be dry. 78 degrees on Saturday. A dry and pleasant start to the weekend, but a few more thunderstorms are expected back into the forecast as we head into Sunday. At 5:30, we'll talk about, or I'll tell you about what happened last night. What was the setup that was conducive for that outbreak of tornadoes in the Miami Valley? And at 6 o'clock, we'll take a little bit of a closer look at tomorrow's severe weather threat.
People in Brookville are doing their best to recover from a tornado that hit the area. We have a closer look at the extensive damage that left house after house torn apart.
If an auto accident caused you injury, call Elk & Elk at 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Weather can change quickly. That's why you need a forecast you can trust. Storm Center 7 is the only local weather team with its own live Doppler radar, giving you the most accurate look ahead as storms develop.
Indications on radar have shown rotation.
And when time is critical, live Doppler 7 is 2 minutes faster.
You want to be prepared now.
Your team of severe weather experts dedicated to keeping you safe. That's Storm Center 7. Weather coverage you can count on.
World's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
During GMC's Truck Month, get 0% financing on most GMC Sierra and Canyon models, or get over $9,500 total value on this next generation Sierra SLT when you finance through GM Financial. GMC, Truck Month like a pro.
At Menards, nobody beats our prices, so you can save on maintaining your lawn. Bio Advanced Complete Insect Killer kills insects for up to 3 months. A 32-ounce ready-to-spray bottle or a 40-ounce concentrate bottle are your choice. $8.99. Control unwanted weeds and grasses for up to 6 months with Durazone Weed and Grass Killer. This ready-to-use sprayer is $19.99. And get a concentrate bottle for free. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Father's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Smedley's is always giving you more.
2019 Equinox LT starting at $23,699.
2019 Equinox LT for $199 per month.
Smedley's Chevrolet, putting value on the road since 1955.
Down on the farm, we're always picking what's fresh.
It's Bob Evans Pick 2 combos. Choose soup and salad or half sandwich combos. Pick your two, starting at $5.99.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
For over
25 years, General Tree Company has been your first defense against dangerous trees and overgrowth.
Call for professional service for tree and stump removal. Call General Tree Company, 232-0000.
Dependable, trusted community. Nobody beats Bo Townsend Ford Lincoln.
Looking for a new Toyota or new Hyundai? We have over 500 Toyotas and Hyundais to choose from.
New information just in the news center. Dayton Power and Light just told us that 400 crews from other parts of Ohio and out of state are now on the way to the Miami Valley to help restore power.
That's much needed. The tornadoes and strong storms last night ripped the roof off of Brookville High School. News Center 7's Kayla Corvell continues our Team 7 coverage.
Many of the homes here in Brookville look just like this one. Most of the roof here has been torn off. The garage next to it, the wall caved in onto the car. We spoke with one man who said he was asleep when he said he thought he heard a freight train moving through his backyard.
I heard a loud crash and a noise.
Roger Conkle no longer has a garage, no power, no running water. Without a cell phone, he had no idea what was happening at his home on Brookville Piermont Drive.
Then the glass started breaking and everything started busting around, and I walked out, and this is what I seen.
Senior class president Emily Brown was at Brookville High School when I arrived shortly after midnight, surveying the school where she and her classmates were getting ready to take their final exams.
I had one more exam and then I was just going to be done for the school year.
And behind the school, many people in the Terrace Park area were trapped in their basements for hours. 3 people suffered minor injuries. As the sun came out, so did people willing to help, from people cutting down trees to removing dead power lines and removing debris from yards.
Just utter shock and disbelief.
The cleanup here is just beginning. In Brookville, Kayla Corvell, News Center 7.
Miami Valley leaders created an action plan after 3 tornadoes caused all of this damage. The reaction from Dayton City leaders and where they say the city goes from here.
Our epic J-Lo exclusive. Oh my God! Inside Jennifer's top secret tour rehearsals, next ET.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 7.
Looking for a new Toyota or new Hyundai? We have over 500 new Toyotas and Hyundais to choose from. Over 75 RAV4s, 50 Camrys available, over 50 Sonatas, and 50 Elantras available. Shop in our showroom or at josephairporttoyota.com or airhyundai.com.
For a limited time, Cash Explosion is selling 2 special player appreciation tickets, and one of them costs the old school price of just $1.
It's like a time warp in here.
Hi, I'm Murphy. And I'm Mike with Mattress Innovations. If you're looking for a new mattress, Mike and I will make it easy. We take the stress out of mattress shopping, direct from the factory to your door.
Mattress Innovation saves you more. The factory is our store.
This family is going to be amazed when they get home because this house is getting super insulated. We're injecting our premium foam into the walls, and it's going to transform how this house feels inside and help cut those big electric bills. What about your home? You can't enjoy anything when your house is hot. We can fix that in just one day. We've insulated over 80,000 homes, and yours should be next. So stop sweating and start saving.
USA Insulation.
Hi, I'm Bill with Carol Wirtz Tire, where we focus on you, the customer. We want to thank Dayton for the last 65 years. And remember, it must be right or we make it right.
We were in an explosion. It was a gas leak.
We were in the hospital for 3 weeks. My aunt had actually called an attorney for us. He made it seem more about dollars than what was best for me. Once we agreed that Blake was going to be our attorney, he just kind of took it over from there and hired all of the experts. He walked us through every little thing. I would refer Blake and his staff to anybody, their family.
Summer's here, and with a great deal on a new Toyota, you can do all the things that make the season so much fun. Like go Vikings, Mother's Day, glamping, graduations, music festivals, motocross, zip lining!
Get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Tacoma for $219 a month or $1,000 cash back. Or get $2,500 back on the full-size Tundra.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is News Center 7.
Trotwood is one of the areas hit by a tornado, at least an EF3 late last night.
You can see part of Harrah's Arena, and its roof is now gone. Now, on what was once used to be a very popular building, here we go, thanks, you can see where the tornado hit, and part of the building has also collapsed. A much different look now than just this time yesterday.
And take a look at this picture an ODOT camera captured. We're going to look at the storm, I believe, as it came in on I-75 at 3rd Street last night. This is from an ODOT camera.
Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist McCall Vrydags joins us live now with the path these twisters took and now the new threat for our area. McCall.
Well, we had 3 reports of tornadoes coming from the National Weather Service at a scale of an EF3. We're talking winds of 136 to 165 miles per hour. One of those storms hit Salina, and you could see the massive damage that was to this home in particular. And we saw similar scenes throughout Mercer County as John Bedell is up there taking a look at conditions there. So what happened yesterday? We had a warm front that lifted northward, and what that did was open up the door for some very warm air to surge up from the south. But also the low pressure that was driving all of this is creating some upper level spin. So you have winds aloft that are rotating around that low pressure. Then we also had some very strong low level winds, and that was actually in a different direction than those upper level winds. So that's what we call shear as when we're talking about the potential for some rotating storms. We saw those storms rotating, developing to our north and west, and that warm front was draped across the Miami Valley. So those thunderstorms really just rode along that boundary and gave us that threat for tornadic activity yesterday. And then conditions really did ramp up, and we were dealing with more of a supercell type of situation, something that you would typically see out in the Great Plains states. We don't normally see these ingredients coming together like we saw in the Miami Valley last evening, but certainly those types of setups can happen. Our storm track, as I showed you a few moments ago, that we had 3 tornadoes that were in the Miami Valley. The first one occurred up in Mercer County. That was between about shortly before 10 p.m. through about 10:15. There was a second storm track, no confirmed tornado there, southern Darke County into Miami County, and then 2 storm tracks. These were your supercell tornadoes that came through Montgomery County, one around 10:30 through shortly around midnight, and then a second one that rode along that same path, and that created those 2 tornadoes confirmed in Trotwood as well as in Beaver Creek. Into the evening hours, we have more thunderstorms that are on the way. Hardest hit areas, Mercer County is under that severe thunderstorm watch for us tonight, as we will watch those showers and thunderstorms drifting southward, and they're getting very close to the area. In fact, Mercer County, we are looking at those thunderstorms moving in now. Very heavy rainfall with frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. Damaging winds and potentially some small-sized hail will be the main threat with these storms as they move on in tonight. Still some thunderstorms moving through Indiana. It will be until after that cluster finally passes by that we will see some relief from the severe weather, but that is just brief as we have more chances for thunderstorms in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. Coming up in my full forecast, I am going to take a look at that threat for severe weather for the next 48 hours and what we can expect as we head into this upcoming weekend.
Okay, McCall, and now we want to get to News Center 7's Molly Kowick, who is in Dayton with how city officials are reacting to all the damage in the city.
There is just so much destruction in Trotwood. Let's start on the ground and work our way up. You can see there are pieces of houses and shingles on the ground. Then, of course, there are tree branches all over the place. Now, right now, they've been pushed to the side so that people can get through on the roads, but it wasn't the case before, and not all of them ended up on the ground. Some, as you can see, ended up on houses just like this one. You can see there are either several large branches or small trees that are on top of this house and have cracked the roof. And as we go even farther up, you can see there are some limbs that are hanging in trees that are not even connected to the tree anymore, which could make for a dangerous cleanup situation for people in this area. Now, as people are picking up these limbs and figuring out to do what to do next, they've also got to drink bottled water. That's because Trotwood is one of the many Miami Valley communities still under a boil advisory. We have a full list on our website, WHIO.com. Dayton city leaders say the Miami treatment plant is now back up and running, pumping 3 million gallons into the system. So this will take over 12 hours to stabilize the system. And right now, the Ottawa treatment plant is still down. Now, Mayor Nan Whaley says there is something you can do to help.
At the moment, the best way is to help donating money or water. The Red Cross is asking for monetary donations for recovery efforts, which you can get.
On your commute home, you'll probably notice that traffic is moving quite slowly. That's because Dayton city leaders say that there are about 80 traffic lights which are out right now. People are treating them like a four-way stop, and so traffic isn't moving smoothly through them. In Trotwood, Molly Kowick, News Center 7.
As News Center 7 reported all weekend, there was a big police operation to keep people safe during a hate group's rally downtown. And this is what Dayton Police Chief Richard Beal had to say about all the response overnight, right after the extra work over the weekend.
Well, I'd say this is what we signed up for, quite honestly. So sleep becomes a little bit problematic for folks at times. I can attest to that personally. But when we're needed, we show up. And so it's exactly what we're doing.
And here on North Dixie Drive, a look here from Sky 7 for you. Homes and businesses torn apart, and you can see the path as Sky 7 took. It's very close to the path it looks as though that tornado took. And as again, you can see some of those buildings right below Sky 7, now nothing but rubble. Other businesses, other homes, other properties, though, not touched. But look at that. As you can see, it just looks like people just dropped confetti everywhere, and little bits and pieces of property now spread all over for several blocks in that part of our viewing area. And of course, the tornado ripped off the roof of a strip mall. This is in Harrison Township as we flew Sky 7 over. Just a mess. It looks like pretty much wiped out the living room nightclub. The wind peeled bricks off of a Dollar General store, essentially gutting it, and that roof collapsed as well. And you can see, thankfully, nobody in these buildings because it was after dark. It was Memorial Day. People were home. So a great opportunity there to help save lives. And also a tower bent over on Wagner Ford Road as we continue to look at more of the devastation.
News Center 7's Mike Campbell got a much closer look at the damage. He spoke with the sheriff and the fire chief in Harrison Township after crews cleared live wires from the parking lot where they talked to make it safe for the media.
We're standing in the back corner of the North Plaza Shopping Center off North Dixie Drive in Harrison Township. The devastation is unimaginable. This building is gone. Their roof is gone, but it's not just the roof. Look at the drop ceiling. It's also gone. All you can see is the steel superstructure, and that's the only thing left standing.
There's really no reason to be down here. This isn't a place to come sightseeing.
Sheriff Rob Streck says this shopping center, like a lot of places in Harrison Township, is filled with debris. It's dangerous, and he and the Harrison Township Fire Chief are asking people to avoid the urge to come here and document the damage.
Probably hundreds last night that were just coming out, getting in the way, trying to find people, and possibly risking themselves getting hurt.
Chief Mark Lynch says so many electrical lines came down, there's a danger of live wires still 24 to 48 hours after the tornado. They also battled threats from gas leaks overnight. The tornado made a mess and threatened lives.
There were several houses that we had to go in and remove victims from. There was a couple of cars that were trapped because of live electric lines.
There may be hundreds of homes and businesses damaged in Harrison Township. The power of the tornado just crushed the entire back half of this shopping plaza, dropping roofs into stores in some spots, taking the Family Dollar roof completely off, and taking down a gentleman's club right next door. The huge amount of buildings damaged raises fears of looting.
People prey on disastrous situations.
And the sheriff made it clear his deputies and other law enforcement agencies are going to aggressively pursue anyone they suspect of looting. He says they won't hand out tickets. They'll make arrests and take people to jail.
We got space for them, and we'll keep them. To me, there's nothing worse than somebody who takes advantage of somebody at their lowest point.
The sign that was supposed to be on the front of this gentleman's club shows you just how powerful these winds are. It's 100 yards now back behind the building. And of course, the walls are down. Businesses here in the North Park Plaza Shopping Center will need to rebuild. In Harrison Township, Mike Campbell, News Center 7.
Well, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued in Auglaize County for a thunderstorm that has just entered the county line there with winds of potentially up to 60 miles an hour. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 6:15. The most intense part of this thunderstorm is located to the northeast of Wapakoneta and is slowly drifting to the east-southeast, anywhere between 25 to 35 miles per hour. When we put it into motion, you can see just how that thunderstorm has developed very rapidly. And in fact, a new severe thunderstorm warning was just just issued north of this cell. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for the northern Miami Valley until 8 o'clock this evening. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on storms as they fire off into the next few hours and giving you a live update in just a few minutes in my full forecast.
Trees down, homes destroyed, power lines down all across our viewing area. We're going to take you to Beaver Creek to see what people went through here.
Right when you wake up, prepare for the day ahead with your live Storm Center 7 forecast from meteorologist Kirsty Zontini. Weekday mornings starting at 4:25 a.m.
On the next wheel, this couple works hard
I am a very passionate insurance agent.
and plays harder.
They're an excitable couple.
We are America's game.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7 on Channel 7.
If you have a workers' comp or Social Security claim, call 1-800-ELK Ohio.
Sometimes healthy living starts with a healthy meal. Find Premier Health in every corner of our community. Our care lives here. Premier Health.
We chose correct bath solutions for our new shower.
They transformed our shower in just 2 days. It was so easy.
The quality and care Correct put into our remodel was outstanding.
And we're thrilled with the results.
Get the correct solution. Schedule your free in-home consultation today.
I served in the Army. Not a lot scares me, but I am worried about my family if our plant was forced to close. We generate nearly all of Ohio's clean energy, but big oil is working to make sure we're shut down. That'll kill our community. Thousands will lose their jobs in less than 2 years. It's wrong. Will you stand up for Ohio or big oil?
Ask your legislators to support House Bill 6. More jobs, lower bills for Ohio.
Nobody beats Bo. Right now at Bo Townsend Ford, it's the Great American Sales Event. Lease a new 2019 Explorer for only $299 a month and 0% APR financing available. Bo Townsend Ford Lincoln, National Road, Vandalia.
Crispy chicken, pit smoked ham, and luau sauce on a Sweet King's Hawaiian bun? It's like we're trying to get you to try it or something.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
And how's the family?
Sometimes preventative care starts in a barber chair. Find Premier Health in every corner of our community. Our care lives here. Premier Health.
The WHIO TV app. It's absolutely free, and it's available right now on your smart TV and streaming devices. Just search WHIO on your Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire. Stream coverage you can count on free anytime with the WHIO TV app. Turn to Storm Center 7, tracking severe storms today.
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued moments ago. This is for Salina and western parts of Auglaize County, with this storm that I've been monitoring over the last 30 minutes entering the county line. Has the potential of producing winds up to 60 miles an hour and perhaps quarter-sized hail. This warning goes until 6:30 this evening. Further off to the east, there is a secondary warning with a separate cell that is in northern parts of Auglaize County near Waynesfield. That warning goes until 6:15. Again, the threat is the same: damaging winds, hail, and possibly some flooding. We'll keep an eye on these storms and what continues to develop into the evening, and I'll take a live look at this again in my full forecast in just a few minutes.
And WHIO has been showing you damage across our viewing area.
News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright spent all night and much of the day in Beaver Creek taking a look at the damage there.
It's a race against the clock here in Beaver Creek. They are trying to patch the holes. The construction crews are here, and they're trying to make sure that all the places that were damaged are covered up or patched up before there's another chance of rain. Now you can take a look at some of the damage here in Beaver Creek. This is not far from North Fairfield Road, an area that was hit very hard by that tornado. Now I want to show you where some of the roofing material ended up. If you follow me over here, many places in the area look just like this. There are piles of all kinds of things. And the one thing I want to explain to you is you might see some nails, you might see some tacks. These are the types of things that once these piles are on the ground, that's another danger that people are dealing with. There's a lot of sharp objects and metal because of all the debris from the tornado. Now the other thing I want to tell you is I found this interesting. When I first got here, this chair They were fishing it out of the pond that's behind me. This is just kind of a waterway that's here at this particular apartment complex off of Lakeview Drive. When I talked with the deputy chief earlier today, he did tell me that the minor injuries here, there were 3 of them in the Beaver Creek area. They are all okay. The one thing, though, that I'll tell you is that they did make over 20 rescues, and they tell me that everybody was from the neighborhood where I was earlier this morning. That is where they were dealing with difficulties of gas lines. There's still a lot of work to do here in Beaver Creek. And again, one thing that you need to really be careful of if you are going out and you're looking at damage at your place or other places, watch out for the debris on the ground. It could be dangerous. Reporting in Beaver Creek, Gabrielle Enright, News Center 7.
People trying to pick up the pieces in one Dayton neighborhood. We talked with people at an apartment complex who lost everything to the tornado.
Congratulations, David. The car you just bought from Jeff Schmidt Auto Group is free. This could be you. Now through June 30th, buy your next car from Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, and it could be free. Go to jeffdeals.com/free car for more details.
Off Family Care provides mosquito protection with a dry formula that's not oily or greasy, so you can keep living life your way. Off, live on. S.C. Johnson.
This is the Durabit of the all-new Chevy Silverado.
That is huge.
It offers a built-in 120-volt outlet.
Wow.
Plug that in for me.
Oh, holy smoke.
And the all-new Silverado has more trim levels than any other pickup.
Oh, wow. There's something for all of us.
It's time to upgrade.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado, or get a total value of over $9,000 when you finance with GM Financial.
Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Ohio.
Here's a couple great reasons why you should get to Jeff Weiler Kia in Springfield. You can choose from over 600 new Kias in stock on sale today. Plus, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Go to jeffweilerkia.com or come see us today on Route 41 in Springfield.
Unlike shirts, it's hard to tell if your car insurance doesn't fit. Good drivers deserve a good fit. MetLife Auto. Get a custom quote today at 844-299-6840 or metlife.com/car.
Right now at Walker Toyota, summer starts here. Lease a brand new 2019 RAV4 LE for only $205 a month. Summer starts here. Walker Toyota. Right selection, right price, right by the Dayton Mall.
Ashley Home Store is America's #1 furniture store. Get style, selection, and value. Visit today.
A Dayton apartment complex off of Troy Street was hit hard by one of the tornadoes that ravaged the Miami Valley neighborhoods. This one's just a few miles north of downtown. People there say they never imagined they would be hit by a tornado since they are in the city. News Center 7's Jim Oddie reports the cleanup is just now getting underway.
We're in an apartment complex just off Troy Street. I want to show you the incredible damage here. A couple of these units, the roofs are gone completely. Now, we talked to one resident here. Even though there's all this damage here, he told us he considers himself to be very lucky. In a neighborhood hit so hard, it's unusual to find somebody who says he has good luck. But that's the case with Desi Cole. He was actually out of town yesterday and only arrived this morning to find his neighborhood in shambles. So this one lost its roof entirely.
Right. Yes, sir.
But none of the other ones.
This one right here. Right. It's amazing.
Desi says he arrived home just in time to help his sister, who lives here too. And then he found this, an SUV he owns, pushed up on its side.
Hey, the force of that tornado was something extra extraordinary. It was real strong.
Can you salvage that?
I can only go to the junkyard. It ain't nothing I can do with it. It's over.
While Desi reviews the damage, other people who live here are trying to figure out their next move. Meanwhile, people who live nearby are shocked at all that they're seeing.
It's a chaotic situation, mass destruction. It's really terrible, and thanks to the good Lord, no one's hurt. This is unbelievable.
Some people bagged up what they could and moved their belongings to their car. They were fortunate to have a car that's not damaged. Others stood and watched over their property. They're seeing the incredible force of the tornado that blew lumber around like toothpicks, driving them into buildings. For Desi and others here, they're getting together their plan for the night to relocate what they can.
First thing is to find out where can we go to take it, what we can save it, and just go from there.
For a lot of families here, the cleanup will literally be weeks in the making. One family here, step one is get this tree off their car so they can see if there are any valuables inside, something they can salvage. In Dayton, Jim Oddie, News Center 7.
2 severe thunderstorm warnings in the northern part of our viewing area.
And that's concerning.
It is, considering the fact that not only did we have the tornado damage in Salina, but those are the same areas that dealt with some very heavy rainfall yesterday evening. So any rain, and these storms are moving very slowly, could lead to an increased threat for flooding. We had some flash flood warnings issued just to the north and west, so similar conditions anticipated as these cells work south and east. Our first severe thunderstorm warning is in northwestern parts of Mercer County, with one cell that is now entering northwestern Ohio. This warning goes until 6:30 for Mercer and portions of western Auglaize County. Frequent cloud to ground lightning. Also keeping a close eye on our rotation. There is some broad rotation with it, not necessarily meaning that we're looking at the threat for tornadic activity, but a rotating thunderstorm could also help to enhance the threat for hail. It will keep those hailstones lofted a little bit longer up in the sky, and then we could see damaging hail along with the threat for damaging winds. When we put a storm tracker on it, the most intense part of that thunderstorm will be moving into the Salina area in as little as 10 to 15 minutes, over towards St. Mary's in about 25 to 35 minutes, and if it continues its track to the east, moving towards Wapakoneta in the next 45 minutes to an hour. But as we go over towards Wapakoneta and east of that near Waynesfield, you can see frequent cloud to ground lightning with this thunderstorm that has a severe warning associated with it until 6:15, as damaging winds and hail are the threat once again there. Putting our hail tracker on, you can see there are 2 separate hail cores with both of these thunderstorms, one that's west of Mercer County and one that is in northeastern Auglaize County. A clear indication as to why those severe warnings have been issued. Further to the west, even more thunderstorms moving into northwestern and north central Indiana. Those thunderstorms will be slowly drifting to the east-southeast, so anyone that is north of I-70 is under the gun tonight for that threat for more severe weather. We're going to be dealing with the damaging wind and hail threat as your main concern. Severe thunderstorm watch includes the city of Troy, Sidney, Greenville, Salina, Wapakoneta, and Bellefontaine, even east out towards Urbana until 8 o'clock this evening. Severe weather threat index for us tonight. Hail and damaging winds, which we've touched upon, heavy rainfall that could lead to some flooding, and then an isolated brief spin-up tornado is possible tonight. The conditions are not as the same as we saw last night, but the threat does still exist. A look in Salina, quiet for the moment over Grand Lake St. Mary's, but this camera is pointed south. If we were to turn the camera around and look the other way, you'd see the darkening skies as that storm is approaching. Temperatures are very warm. Summer like 86 degrees, feels like nearly 90 degrees because of our humidity in place, and that is all going to fuel that threat for storms tonight. Heat index values elsewhere in the Miami Valley. It feels like 86 in Springfield, 87 in Xenia, 87 in Oxford. That may be problematic for those of us that are without power and unable to get that AC turned on tonight and keep ourselves cool. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of fluids, and alert any medics if you start to feel a little woozy or a little bit dizzy. Those could be early signs that perhaps you are starting to enter some heat exhaustion. Want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself tonight. Futurecast shows those thunderstorms moving south by 8 o'clock, still dealing with them. Mercer, Auglaize, northern Shelby, out towards Logan County. Thunderstorms pulled to the east by 9:30. We should be in the clear and likely going to stay quiet through most of tonight. We may see a few thunderstorms returning across the north closer to sunrise tomorrow, and meteorologist Kirstie Zonzini will be tracking those on Daybreak Edition to start your Wednesday. Now, Wednesday afternoon, that risk for severe weather returns. The entire Miami Valley this time will be under the gun for that threat for more strong storms. You may see a shower or thunderstorm gliding by south before lunchtime, but once we get towards the peak heating of the day from 3 o'clock to 8 p.m. in the evening, those showers and thunderstorms will be bubbling up, very isolated but widespread in coverage as to where that threat for severe weather will exist. Thunderstorm threat will diminish as we get into the overnight hours, and even more thunderstorms are expected to move back back in on Thursday. So a very active 24 to 48 time frame as we continue into the next couple of days. Friday will be a mainly quiet day. There is an outside chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm mainly to our far south. Saturday will be a dry day to start the weekend. We're up to about nearly 80 degrees with mostly sunny skies, and then thunderstorms are expected to return on Sunday. At 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at that sixth day. Does that thunderstorm threat continue into early next week? I have that answer in the next 30 minutes.
Vectren doing everything it can to keep people safe after all of this devastation. News Center 7 looks closer at how this could impact you.
Listen up, peeps. Big Bro is about to heat up your summer again.
Let's do it.
Total strangers living under one roof. Watch 24/7.
You are never alone. You cannot hide.
Becoming allies, arch enemies.
I thought you were my friend. You can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen. You made my life into something else.
Friends.
You're kind of like the size of my dog.
And more than friends.
You're stuck with me until the day you die.
Oh, great.
Hashtag hot mess. See you for Big Brother Tuesday, June 25th.
Selling your home after 20, 30, or 40 plus years? I'm Denise Swick, your certified senior relocation specialist. From painting to packing and everything in between, we can help you downsize or right size in town or across the country. Call me. Let's get started.
This is the Durabit of the all-new Chevy Silverado.
That is huge.
It offers a built-in 120-volt outlet.
Wow.
Plug that in for me.
Oh, holy smoke.
Wow. And the all-new Silverado has more trim levels than any other pickup.
Oh, wow. There's something for all of us.
It's time to upgrade.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado, or get a total value of over $9,000 when you finance with GM Financial.
Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Ohio.
This one's late again. If I pay this, I can't pay that one. How am I going to buy groceries? I can't keep living this way. I can't do this anymore.
When you're drowning in debt, call Rick West, debtfreeohio.com.
The Watson's Big Memorial Day event is going on now with 24-month special financing and up to 50% off store-wide. It's the perfect time to add some fun and relaxation to your life with a new spa. A deluxe 5-person acrylic spa is only $26.99.
A 6-person premium model with stereo, not $79.99, now only $49.99.
Plug-and-play models only $79 a month with 24 months interest-free financing. All during Watson's Big Memorial Day event going on now.
Shop Germain Ford of Beaver Creek, minutes away with an experience miles above. Right now, during the Great American Sales Event, get 0% APR up to 72 months or up to $14,000 off MSRP on F-150. Or discover Ford's award-winning lineup of SUVs with 0% APR up to 60 months or up to $11,000 off MSRP. Come see why we're the fastest growing Ford dealer in the Dayton area, just off of 35 east of 675. Germain Ford of Beaver Creek.
Vectren says it plans to shut down natural gas services in Trotwood and Harrison Township. Emergency responders could be heard on police scanners discussing gas leaks in many areas. Vectren has enacted its emergency response plan and is working with fire departments to assess problems in the natural gas systems. Now, if anybody smells gas, you should get out of the area and call 911. Dayton area Congressman Mike Turner took to social media to share his thoughts about last night's devastating tornadoes. Last night, Turner posted this on Twitter. He said his daughter sent him these pictures of the tornado that moved through Dayton. He also mentioned he would be touring the damage with Governor Mike DeWine. WHIO was there when the pair toured Salina and Trotwood and then headed to Beaver Creek. We were there as well, where an EF3 tornado ripped up apartment buildings and businesses.
And people in Salina described the tornado damage as unbelievable and catastrophic. News Center 7 found houses ripped apart, cars flipped, and parts of trees now on roofs. And people got emotional describing this deadly tornado.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. And it's not just here, it's out of town on Fairground Road, and I don't know what's the other going out the other side of town. Yeah. Really sad. And these people, you know, where do they go?
Yeah, you can hear the emotion in her voice. A storm chaser captured this video of a tornado in Wabash County, Indiana. This is just west of Fort Wayne. The man said he'd been tracking the storm for 15 miles. This was part of the same system that brought 3 tornadoes through the Miami Valley. News Center 7 is hearing 9 possible tornadoes touched down in Ohio last night. At least 52 tornadoes were spotted in 14 states.
And now to Greene County, where people can go for free water. The Rural King store in Xenia is handing out 2 free cases of water to every person today. Now, this from the store's manager.
The stores aren't affected. We're all fine. All the associates and their families are good, but we're more concerned about the community.
He went on to say several other Rural King stores got extra water shipments in this morning.